Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Tell You What podcast, hosted by me, Sean Aleavey, and my even better host. He's back with the beard, Talal Jomar.
Oh, just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep
Yeah,
telling
I
me
got a
to
lot
get
of I got a lot of stick. I also realized the beard hides a lot of chin, so the beard's here to stay. So you're here to stay. So yeah, it's good. It's good to be back recording another episode.
I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to be honest with the viewers. I'm going to be honest with yourself, Talal. I've been running the gig tonight. I'm all hyped up. I'm full energy mode. I may have had a beer or two. I mean, if anyone's
Yeah.
ever seen me do a gig before, the way I talk and bring people on stage, I'm like fucking Bruce Buffer. I'm like, welcome to the stage. I'm on fucking cloud nine. It went well. But was I was going to say there was your beard growing out again has also heightened the fact that your hairline is also a bit light.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
it's
it's like when one's shorter, the other looks better.
no, I know. You know what it is, but it's almost like should I just completely shave it off? But nah, just gonna hold on.
Nah.
Hold on to it for a wee bit longer.
Go I always think I'd like to go like full Homer Simpson if I'm going bald, just like the zigzags and like the three pieces of hair on the top. He's like, just rock
See,
that. And then you go, right, time to shave. Time to get rid of that.
you know what? I might actually just shave the top of it because the side's not all right. Like, just get a sick fade up to here.
It's
That's
I was
it.
gonna say get a reverse fade, get it faded here, and then it's just hair on the side.
That's exactly what we'll do. That's what I'm
Everyone,
gonna do.
everyone's gonna be doing it. I'll tell you what, we're looking like well, I don't think I look good this week. I think you might be the face of the podcast this week, which just shows you how down bad I am. Um, but you're only
Yeah,
back from the Edinburgh Fringe. How was that?
literally just off the plane there about 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago maybe. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Had the time of my life there. Took in shows, got to see an old friend hadn't seen in a while. Had
And
two
their
gigs.
husband.
And her husband, sorry, yes, yes. Got to meet him for the first time, and the here, no word of a lie. Whenever I told people where I was staying, it was like that's unbelievable. It was like 5 minutes walk to the Fringe. Everybody, well, most people have to walk like 15, 20 minutes. We even
Yeah.
get like a bus in. No, no, I was literally 5 minutes. And the Fringe was there. Like, well,
Is the main part of the Fringe that like square? Like you can sort of
yes,
look up and see the castle and stuff like that. It's like on the backside of the
yeah,
castle. Yeah.
yes. So
Right, okay.
like I was literally staying 5 minutes from that square, like, so it was
That's
so
unreal.
handy. Like, yeah. Uh Shout out Emma Jack and her husband Reese Jack there for the accommodation there. But yeah, Fringe was great. I done two gigs, done best of NI Wednesday night, Thursday night. Had a great time.
Why
Real
are you
good time.
smirking?
Just because I had a
You
real
look
good time.
everyone's gonna be like, did he get his hole afterwards? What happened?
Oh, here, far better.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting your hole at the end would have put a damper on the night.
Yeah, I wouldn't have time for that. No, you know what it is. It was just great to go over and experience it, and then I think because I'd no like pressure, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Because
You weren't running the show.
like it was the funniest thing. It was on, so it was the Thursday, so yesterday. I just happened to bump into Willie Thompson on the way to the gig. We're going to that best NI gig, and I looked at him and I went, "The life has left his body." Like, he
Oh
looked
really? Yeah.
so so tired. He's obviously doing his own solo show there as well, so he's been there from the start.
Mhm.
And he was just so, like, you know yourself, like, you run a gig, it's stressful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
Yep.
but then obviously after, because the gig went really well, he was like, you are right now full of life. But
Mhm.
just I was like, that's the Fringe right there. You know what I mean? I'm there 2 days, and he must be looking at me going, I hate people like you coming over for 2 days going, oh, the Fringe
Yeah.
is great.
Do you know what you are? You're the boy that shows up to the Bachelor, the stag do on day two. Everyone's fucking dead, comatose, and you're like, "Oh lads, let's get on it." Woo woo."
I'm the guy that like comes late. That like I miss all the sprints at the start of training.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. Time
But
for a
yeah,
warm down.
no, yeah. No, look, it was great. Two late nights now. So it was. I was out in Hammer now Wednesday night and Thursday night now. I had a couple.
Did you drink before the gig?
It was strange because I was kind of going on the Wednesday. I sort of got a wee bit carried away with myself and was having like pints and stuff, but it wasn't like full on. I sort of had in the back of my mind I was doing a gig,
Hmm.
and then so an hour before the gig, I just went, you know what, chill out here. I went and got something to eat, water and stuff. I was grand, like, and then
Hmm.
after the gig, then I went full hard at it.
Yeah.
Thursday, I was sort of like got up, got something to eat, went and seen a show, had maybe a pint or two, went and seen a show, had a pint or two, went and seen a show, had a pint or two. So I was like grand. I wasn't like
Hmm.
steaming. And then after that best of any gig, I was gonna go home. Like in January, was just gonna go home, and then I went for that famous one pint, and the rest
Yeah.
is history. That's
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was but a great night, fantastic night, you know.
See, I've never been to the Fringe, and like for anyone listening to this, and you don't know what it is, the Fringe is like the Edinburgh Fringe is like the comedy festival. Everyone flies in, you go see like some of the big stars before they tour their shows and stuff like that, and it's kind of like the hub of comedy for like Europe almost, or even kind of the world at that stage. Like just a
It's
month of madness.
it's the biggest like arts festival in the world,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
apparently, which is crazy to me.
But
But
there's people from here that will go and they'll like put on their own shows, and you'll be like people, if you have a name behind you or like a brand behind you, you'll like do sell well and have a good time and per show. But there's people that go like with no fans, nobody knows who they are, and they're just like chatting to a room in a fucking cellar that's not even a bar to four people. And my approach to that has always been, because that's the level I'm at. I'll be like, I can do that here. I don't need to go to
yeah,
Edinburgh to go do that. Like,
like I see people out flaring in the middle of like I mean early in the morning, and their shows at maybe 11:30 at night, and I'm going, oh my god. So they're out flaring all day, then go do the show. It must be hell. But that's pure dedication. That's pure
yeah,
dedication.
mental.
Like it is. But there's. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's some shade at the finish too. Like, and I don't. I wish I was there for like another two days. I probably
Mm.
wasn't there long enough. I definitely would have took like another 2 days and watched more fucking shows. Like, but it's class time. Like, so I'm definitely going back next year. But I'm only going as a tourist like I did this year. I'm not going to book a show or nothing. Like, I'm not a fucking
Yeah,
chance.
just jump on the odd one there if you can, just to sort
Yeah.
of
Well,
tick the box.
I could have gigged far more. Like you know what I mean. Like if you're sort of clued in, you can gig far more, and then you could have. But then most of your days used up going to gigs, whereas like I wanted to watch stuff like so.
It's one of them ones. If
I
you're
don't
not
know.
working on stuff for like trying to like build a show, I don't think what are you going to get out of it? If you do one or two gigs and you've learned right, I've more than just my Northern Ireland material, then happy days.
Yeah.
You've got everything out of it you're
Yeah.
going to get out of it.
So that's why I was actually delighted because the first night, two of the accent pulled out, and so when he was stressing, and he's like, "Who am I going to get?" And then I was like, "Ah, sure, I'll do 20 if you want." In my head, going, I have 5 minutes of material where I don't mention Northern Ireland. Ended up doing ended up doing 20 or so, and it was great, fun, great time, like,
That's class.
and
That's class.
fun. But
Is there anything you'd recommend for anybody that like that wasn't from here? Did you go see anything like that? Like any sort of names?
yes, I went and seen so because I see comedy a lot. I want to go see like weird stuff. So I booked something by mistake called Yuck Circus. Right.
Ugh. You've lost me already. Even the word yuck is turning me like.
It was so 5 female like gymnasts, sort of acrobats, and they do a show, and the first 15-20 minutes is like I remember sitting there going, I shouldn't be here. Like this isn't. It shouldn't. It's a kind of show you go watch with like someone. You don't go by yourself. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
So
all right.
I'm like,
Did you look like a pervert? Is that what you're trying to tell
oh,
me?
1,000%. I'm like, I'm doing my best to like not look like a pervert. And like when you look like this, and then
Yeah.
I sort of thought it because it seemed like the queue was huge for like going in it,
Mhm.
and I was like, right. So I was like, well, it's obviously going to be sold out. So I like get a seat at the back out of the road, and no. So wherever I sat, the next row in front of me was completely empty. So I looked
Oh
even more.
no.
So I looked even more like a creep.
They were in the they would have been in the splash zone. Fuck's sake. Do you
It
know
was
those
like,
situations where you go to those sort of things, you're like, don't look like a creep. And the more you try to not look like a creep, you end up looking like the
I
ultimate creep. You're like, oh, there's nothing I can do here. Like you're like trying not to lick your lips, but your lips are dry and you're like, You're like, fuck's sake, why did I lick them like that?
I know, and I'm like, because like I'm kind of great. I don't want to sit like this. I don't want to look like complete. So
You have
I,
her.
I literally sat like a P1 just with my hands on my knees. It's like,
Fucking lips.
yeah,
I'm not enjoying this.
so but it was one of those ones where like this is mental. Like people
Yeah.
that want to watch this, it's mental.
Was it a
Uh,
comedy or was it just
so
acrobats?
it was like circus acrobats, and they tried putting in like a tinge of comedy to it,
Right.
but it was shite. Like That
All right,
was
okay.
horrible. But people were in stitches at it. I'm just like, it's just not for me. Like,
Right, okay.
so I don't really like rude stuff. You see, people always be shocked at that, but I don't
Really?
really like. Yeah, I don't really like rude stuff. Now,
Oh,
I'm not that I'm a prude or anything, but I don't really like. I don't like vulgar stuff. So I'm like, nah,
yeah,
it's just not for me. Then went and seen a magician because magic's my favorite thing. Well, one of my favorite things,
yeah.
and which a lot of people find uncool. But again, I made the mistake of going, right. It looks like it's fully going to be sold out here, or at least like nearly full. Sit at the back, nobody else near me, and he does this trick, and I'm the only one that goes. And he actually looks at me in the crowd and goes, he goes like, "Were you impressed with it?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Don't worry, it gets so much better." And then like every time he done a trick, he go, "Was that better than the last one?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "I
Oh,
am
fuck's
done."
sake.
So I was sitting, and everybody turns around to see me. So I'm sitting by myself going, "Oh, flip sake." And then I'm sort of going, I wonder if there's anybody who went and seen that show I was at earlier on going, he's just going to shows by himself, sitting in the back row, just having the time of his life. But
But if there's a guy
yeah,
watching you watch them shows, he's the bigger creep. You know what I mean? That's the biggest creep of
yeah.
the fringe right there.
The only comedian I went and seen was Susie McCabe.
Oh yeah.
She's a Scottish comedian from Glasgow,
Mhm.
and oh my god, one of the best stars I've ever seen.
Wow. Yeah.
Just proper. And I went in going, I think she's going to be a bit like rude for me.
Mhm.
Not at all. It was unbelievable. Like I was properly laughing, like
Fucking
properly,
hell.
on how her it just was. It's like the first hour I watched that like flowed, and it was just like a full story. If that made
Yeah.
sense, it wasn't just like bits up, bit after bit. The whole thing just told a big story. It was unbelievable and very like relatable, which is brilliant. She's
That's
absolutely fantastic.
that's class. That's because there's people out there that would, suggest that women aren't as funny as men, but never me and you. We don't go down that route.
No, you're either funny or you're not. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
funny's funny. Yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah.
I'm a cunt, sorry. I set that up. That wasn't good for anybody. But
Yeah.
the magician thing, because I'm weirdly into magic as well, but this is weird. I'm not into like magicians impressing me. I'm into like seeing how magicians do stuff.
So I was watching it going, right, that's sleight of hand, that's this. But there's one trick he did, and I was like, I don't know how he does this.
Yeah.
So he picked somebody in the audience, right, to write something on like a tissue, right?
Mhm.
And then he gets a peach and cuts the peach, and inside where the stone of the peach should be is the napkin with the same writing on it. And you're like, what? How did he get in there?
That's yeah. That
Like,
yeah. Because
like, do you know what I mean?
I know some things so much like if you're dealing with a deck card, like people do like double lifts and fucking look like they're shuffling but they're not shuffling, all that there sort of carry on. Ban me from the magic circle, I dare you. Anyway, no, but like I know all that sort of stuff. But we had a guy when we were in Japan, and he was doing like street magic, and it was like the best in front of my face street magic I had ever seen. But I knew what this fellow was at. I knew as soon as he came up and picked me out, I goes, he's going to ask me for money at this. And it was just angering me. He was doing all these unreal tricks. He took like a deck of cards, put them in my hand. I opened my hands, and there was just like a solid block. There was no cards and all. It's
Uh,
like, and I just couldn't be impressed because I knew he was going to ask me for money. And the whole time he goes, I'm not looking for money. I'm just looking to try new tricks. At the very end, he goes, if you enjoyed that, you can give me some money. I said, thanks very
uh,
much, pal. See you there. And just walked down the road. I was like, fuck you. You said
you
you
were
were going to
full.
ask for money.
You
I
were
was,
full shot at Twain. That don't impress me much.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, if anyone had watched, it looked like I was doing the Macarena while he was doing it because I was like, I'm gonna get pickpocketed. I was just going like, fucking, where's my wallet? Where's my keys? Where's my phone? I was just checking everything while he was doing it. I was like,
Yeah.
somebody make sure like I'm not getting pickpocketed while this is happening. Magicians are spooky bastards. Like I don't trust them.
You know what? And you know what it is too? And the magician kind of ruined it for me because he was trying to be funny. I'm
Right.
like, down on his own.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, your magic is class. Make it spooky. Make it that we think you're like a wizard
witch?
or a
Yeah,
witch.
yeah.
Don't, I'll tell the shade jokes here. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
If
know
you need
what
a
I
man to
mean?
down their hole, give me a call. This is not you, pal. You're talented enough.
And all his jokes were so like you could just see the punchline coming. You're like,
Yeah,
oh man.
yeah.
But again, like he said he's done it 10 years, so it must be so hard to do the same show every day for 30 days. Like, that'd be so hard. Like, especially when you're not making like millions. It's not like you're making millions. It's not, you know what I mean? It's like, oh fuck. Oh,
Nothing
I
like
couldn't.
being a comedian that's broke, like I'm in that position at the minute, is sad. But being a magician that's broke, that's the saddest thing ever. Because like
No.
at least with comedy, I think with comedy, there's kind of something sexy about it, especially these days. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of got a
Yes,
bit of a
yes,
shade. But magician just has never got that sort of sexy twisted, unless you're like megastar. Do you know what I mean? Unless you're like
yes,
the
yeah.
height of it. If you're a low level starving artist magician, that's a hard sell. Like
Because here's the thing: like, if you're trying to like chat up like someone in a bar, and you're like, I do magic, but I'm broke, and and then I'm trying to convince them that they are truly magic. My reply would be, well, why don't you just magic up some money?
yeah,
Why don't you
yeah,
pull, if you're really magic, why don't you pull 100? Why don't you pull a 20 quid note out of that fucking hat? So I
yeah,
mean, dude, who gives a fuck about a rabbit? Pull out a
yeah.
20 quid. You know what I mean? So like, yeah. So they automatically lose. The loser, like, how authentic they are. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, right enough. That's so far. You can't be magic and broke. That just goes against
Yeah,
absolutely
exactly.
everything.
Because everybody knows that if you get magic powers, the first thing you're wishing for is a lot of money. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's it. It's like, oh, you know what I mean? Let me fucking put a ring around a fucking wine glass. No money. That's the
yeah,
thing. But no, other than that, like the Fringe is like, it was great. I wish I'd have loved another day in it.
yeah,
I'd loved another 2 days in it, and I should have took that advantage when I had like my accommodation was free. Like, so
yeah. Well, you can always go next year, I suppose.
yeah. So I'm
As you all say.
definitely gonna go next year. Like, so
Nice, nice, nice.
excited.
We were in speaking of, well, not really vulgar you're saying there, but we were doing the comedy club. It was like our first ever like Friday night comedy session. So as you're watching this on Monday, Friday night, we're recording this on the Friday night. I've ran from that gig. It's 10:15 at night. That's how much we love yous. Tell you what, fans.
Yes.
That's just how much we love yous. Talal's got off a fucking rickety Ryanair flight to having a stroke, and I've come sweating. I've actually got, I'm not even
Yeah.
word of a lie. Look at this here. I've got a full Chinese sitting here beside me, ready to fucking scram.
Oh man, you should have had your Chinese first. That's so sad that you not eat it.
No, I'm going to be munching away here as we
Oh,
go.
good, good, good,
But
good, good, good. See,
this is that's I
see.
was in my head. I was like, I'm not going to have enough time to eat this, and then I goes, Talal has a full section in this podcast where he rants. I'll be sweet. I'll just eat it during that.
Which actually, that's actually a brilliant segue into my first rant, by the
Yeah.
way, without you
Well,
even knowing, because we haven't even talked, because we usually would say, I'm going to rant about this. You didn't. This was my rant, right? So I'm going to
mhm.
start off. So we're going to go on to Talal's rants.
Go on for it.
Here we go. So see, when you're a fat guy, like
No,
you
no,
can
you've lost me. I don't know.
see the way you're on screen eating,
Yeah.
you can get away with, like, you can get away with eating on a
Okay.
podcast and nobody will say anything. See, if that was me,
Yeah.
oh, that fat bastard eating. I was like, it's the horrors, right? And like, this happened in like work the other day. There was a load of buns come in, right? I know I was just down for a bun, but as the fat guy, I'm not allowed. Like, it's like an unwritten rule: the fat guy can't be the first one
This
to the
has blown
buns.
my mind. This is actually like,
This is how we think. So it's like,
yeah,
it's like the buns are there, and like, I don't want to be that guy, because I know as soon as I go to them buns, I go, oh, fucking look at that, no, straight to the
mhm.
buns. That's why you are the way you are. And you're like, leave me alone.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah, yeah,
I know, but you don't
yeah,
need to tell me. I'm first to the buns here, because
yeah.
this is why I am, because I've always been first to the buns. Same as at like a buffet, or like anywhere where it's like anywhere where it's like self serve, you
Yeah.
always take less than everybody, and I'd be starving. Like, you know what, like at a maybe a party where there's only like sandwiches,
Mhm.
you'll see people taking like 5 or 6 sandwiches, 4 or 5 goujons. I'm just like, I just take 2 like triangles and sit and be starving going, but
Oh,
I can't take any more, because even if I took less than, say for example, right, me and you went to like some party, and it was just like wee nibbles. If you took twice the size of me, like if you took twice the size of what I got, if somebody lands, right, somebody lands and go, oh, there's no food left, they're not gonna blame you. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
the fuck I
Do you
did.
know what?
I mean, suddenly,
I've never thought of it like that because
no,
I'll
this
go,
is
I'll go to a buffet and be like, Sean, because my mother and father have raised me really good manners. I think I'm quite nice. But see, when it comes to a buffet, I am a full-on tramp. Like I am first in queue, kicking kids out of the way. 20 goujons, like just absolute. I'll take 2 plates. I'll actually go and take 2 plates and not even think about it. And people will be like, oh. oh, you're hungry, and then goes, sure, I'm a grown boy, and that gets you out of
Uh,
jail. The grown boy
we're,
thing, sweet.
the only place I got away with like doing what you just said was when I was in America in Las Vegas at them. Whereas where I am thin
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
at them puppies,
Who's the athlete there?
I'm actually looking all right here. But no, so that's my first rant, right? Don't stop judging us fat people, right? And I know it's my fault that I'm fat and all this sort of thing, right? But just let us like I'm not gonna eat everything. That's all I'm gonna say, right?
I'll be honest, right? If
And this
I'm
is
not
where
a go on,
this is where this rant's coming from, right? I was queuing up to Krispy Kreme donuts, right? We're gonna bring Krispy Kreme donuts are my girlfriend's favorite donuts in the world. I was like, you
yeah,
know what? I've been away from home a couple of days. I'll bring her home a wee box, right? But there was two of the ones that she liked, and that was the only one of that kind left. And I could hear the people behind me going, "Betcha he's gonna take them last two." And I fucking and I did, but then I felt deadly guilty. So stop making me feel guilty. You know what I mean? You don't know my story. Do you know what I mean? So stop judging me. Don't judge me. That's my first rant. Well, anyway, what were you going to say there?
what was I going to say there? I was going to say, like, if you're in the queue, no, if you're in the queue just off the back of that, and someone goes to me, he's going to take them too. And even if I had no intention of taking them too, I'm taking them too. Like, I am a cunt when it comes to that sort of stuff. I'm like, I'm going to clean this out. Like, I would take one and throw it in the bin in front of him and be like, haha, that's what you get for
You
judging
know,
me.
you know how people talk about like white privilege and all this stuff.
Mhm.
You've skinny boy privilege, Kieran, or Kieran, Sean. You know what I mean?
How dare you?
It's called you Kieran. You skinny boy
But
privilege.
see when you're skinny and tall though, because people will then be like, all right, he's tall, he needs energy that way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get away with it. But like I honestly I can't get my head in it because like in fairness, right? I will be honest here, and I'll be honest on behalf of all the skinnies. Listen to this podcast. If you're going to the buffet before me, I'm going. Fuck's sake! Like it's
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
and you
But that
can't
shouldn't
help
be
it.
the
You
case.
just you
Yeah,
sit there and go,
exactly.
and then whenever I see you lift less, I'm going to myself, who's he? Who? I actually probably go the other way. I probably go, who's he kidding? Do you know what I mean? Get the two plates out. I actually think you should go the other way and just
I,
embrace it.
we can't win, but
But you
that's
can't.
the thing. We can't win. Do you know what I mean? We can't win. So as you say, it's like, look at him, typical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why he is the way he is. So, but yeah, anyway.
Because we had one of them situations recently where it was actually my sister's engagement party. And Joe, it's the first time like both families kind of meet each other properly. And it was out in my sister's fiance's neck of the woods. So out there, and we were all like, right, we'll try to be fucking civilized and we're only having a few drinks and blah, blah, blah. But then the buffet came out and all hell broke loose. There was fucking, they didn't even see the buffet go out. We just whirlwinded. We were just like, we're a big family. Like, we're like, we haven't had all day. We knew there was going to be a buffet here. This is our chance to feed. It was like gazelles
Yeah.
going down to the watering hole. It was absolutely clean out in the place.
See, I love that. But you're also like tight, so it's like if you're in somewhere
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like so it's like 7.99 all you can eat. You're like, I will eat everything I can eat here.
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
clean it out.
But
Whereas
I hate when people do that thing of like you'll have someone arrogant say, not me, but someone in my body chatting to you about this. I'm going, but I bet you if me and you were in a buffet, I could eat more than you could. And there's no way that's true.
no, definitely not.
Like, Joe, that people
Definitely
say
not.
that, Joe, that term, the skinny fat. People say they're skinny
Yeah.
fat. I say that's not a thing. You can't be skinny fat. You're either
It's
the food can only go so many places.
yes, and I mean, something. There's no such thing as skinny. You're either fatty or not. Let me tell you something. So you either sweat when putting on socks or you don't, and that's that is the definition, you know. But I know my second rant, right, is and it happened quite a lot when I was in Edinburgh, right. But it's something that I've been quite passionate about for a serious amount of time, right?
Mhm.
And you might understand because you've been in places where it's been heavily like populated.
Mhm.
So walking through a big city or an airport or something where there's loads of people, you see the dickheads that just stop and
No.
block everything, right? So when he's walking up a street, right? There's no reason for you to stop, but you just stop and
Okay.
just to like look at your phone. Like if you're gonna stop, there's people behind you. Stop to the side. Not me. It takes enough for me to get going here.
No, you've no.
Oh,
This
no,
is
no,
it's
Sean.
what's this episode 5? You've lost me. You've lost me on
No,
this
no,
one.
no, 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 no. Right. So, perfect example. Right. You were in Vegas.
Yep.
Right. You know the escalators to cross the road.
Mhm.
So you go up the escalator. On the very top, people stop to take a fucking picture. Do they not know there's people coming behind them? Right. And it might be one particular race of people that do this. Right? Not gonna
Say
say
it. Say it. Say
no,
it.
no, not a chance. And they stop and they take 3,000 fucking. You're like, get out of the way! I'm trying to get off a moving set of stairs here. You know what I mean? It was like,
Can I ask
you
a
know, when
question? Can I ask a
yes,
question? Am I
yes.
eating the food of their people right now?
I have no comment. Right. So, but it happened to me so many times. And but the thing is, I stop, and because they just stop suddenly, I bump into them, and they turn around and give me their look. Don't stop! Don't stop in the middle. There's nothing here for you to stop for. That's my point. I'm like, you shouldn't stop.
I can't get behind this one because
Oh,
again, maybe it's a large guy versus a more nimble guy thing where I can dip out of the
it,
way and juke around them here, give them drop the shoulder and I'm away.
it's not at all because my girlfriend, she whenever I text her, she going, see the next person that stops dead in the middle of the street. I goes, I'm trampling over them. She's like, oh, I hate when that happens.
I think
She
though, I think where I thought you were going with this, and I would have died on the hill with you. This is my biggest gripe ever. When you're walking, there's two types of people. In there's the person that walks down the street in a straight line, and there's the person that's going zigzag. I'm the zigzagger, and it drives me mental that people don't move out of the way. Like I'm moving out of the way like 30 feet before you even come towards me. So if you're walking like towards someone else,
yes,
I am the
yes.
person that gets in my lane dead early, and then you have the person that will like deliberately like go to bump shoulders with you, and you're like, if I didn't move there, this would have been
Yes.
fatality. That drives me nuts.
Yes, but no, the people stopping in the middle, and people stopping like, for example, right? I had I had just got my bag through security, my backpack,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I went to like walk, and the people. So I go to walk, and he's walking in front of me. Stop to take a photograph, and it's the security area of Edinburgh Airport. You do not need a selfie in the security area of Edinburgh. Like, let me tell you, you do not need. Anyway, that's my ranting done today.
Sure, you would have loved.
I
In Japan, they literally have like lanes on like the footpaths for people to like keep walking. Genius, genius.
perfect, perfect. The London Underground, another one.
Yep.
The left hand side is for the fast people. The right hand
Mm-hmm.
side is for my people.
The standard stillers, people. I just have a stroke saying
But,
that. What the fuck?
the
Standard stillers.
stillers, but yes, people who just stop dead for no reason.
Yeah,
I
no,
can get
that is annoying.
very annoying. So, and I did trample over someone's dog, like the dog yelped, and I felt so bad for a second. I went, "Well, you shouldn't have stopped."
The dog shouldn't have stopped.
Yeah. No, well, the person's walking the dog, and so
Oh,
they've
right,
stopped,
right,
and
yeah.
the dog has stopped, and I've literally, because I'm sort of looking where I'm going and looking at. I didn't see the dog, to be fair, and then it stood in the dog. That was it. So
You're like, someone told me one time if you hit the emergency brakes on a train when it's going full speed, it takes like 7 kilometers for it to stop. Is that you? As soon as someone stops, you're fucking, you can hear like sparks flying off your heels.
but see, another thing, right? And it's back again. Again, it's my issue, right? That I'm not fit, right? But there, Edinburgh's quite hilly.
It's very hilly, yeah,
So,
and cobbly.
so when I'm walking up a hill, right? Once I'm going, I'm grand,
Mhm.
but I can't start mid hill. I'm like a learner driver. I can't.
Yeah.
The clutch.
You need to go
I
all the way
stop.
back down the hill again.
I have to
crying.
go back to the start. I have to walk downhill to get the momentum to spin around the wall and then go back up the other side. But no, so that's it. That's my ranting done.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry
People
you had
have-
such a traumatic week. I'm surprised you hit back one piece.
People don't know who I am. You know what I mean? Open maker at the fringe.
Yeah. Do you not know where I need to be? Where? Nowhere. I have nowhere actually I need to be right now. I booked
I
one
have to
gig
go
at 10
watch.
o'clock.
I have to go watch 5 acrobats here.
Yeah,
Talk about them. Talk about their menstrual cycle. It's a must see for a fella by himself in the back row. I must see. But yeah. Anyway, that's my ranting done.
I'm delighted. I'm delighted for you. It sounded like you had a great time at the fringe. Actually, can I be honest with you? Don't go back next year. Don't go back. If that's what's annoyed you, don't go back.
No, but that, not just him, but I mean
Just in general.
life,
Yeah,
people
fair.
stopping them, and even like just as a wee segue for it, do you know the entrance to Castlecourt?
Yes.
Right. So there's maybe four double doors.
Mhm.
Use any one of the 4, but people will just follow the big queue and just go to the other door. There's 4 other doors. By my name, they'd be like, look, these people, 20 people trying to squeeze through at one door. I'm like, I'll just go through the door by myself here.
Do you know what
And
though?
people,
I'm too traumatized. I've watched too much like do Takeshi's Castle, where like one of the doors is just solid. I just bounce off it. I'm like, just follow the
nah,
crowd. This one's open. Just keep her
nah,
lit. Don't be fucking chancing that other door. I'll be made a dick out
nah,
of. I don't know if that opens or not. There's no evidence to tell me that door opens. I'm not
nah.
being the guy that finds out.
Uh, now I wouldn't do it with an automatic door, but I think the doors in the castle court you just pull open. But an automatic door, that's a big risk
That
because
is.
once you get close to it, you're especially because it takes me 7 hours to stop. If I get close to that door, I'm walking into that door like you know what I mean. I'm just gonna slightly bounce off it. But anyway, let's get a feel good local news story.
Oh no, we have no feel good local news story this week.
Oh, no.
What is the
Oh,
only thing that's
no.
been in local news this week?
Oh.
The extreme right wing fascists of Belfast.
Right.
I'm like, is this a topic we'll talk about this week? I think we'll have to, because it is technically the biggest local news. If we're talking about a woman getting shot in the face on a bus, we've got to talk about
Yes.
the fascist right wings in Belfast.
Right. So can I just interject here? Right. You've been to like the village close to where I live.
Yep.
I don't want to. Well, I met at the boy. Right.
Yep.
So there was people protesting against immigrants in the Moy, and did a photograph of an Arab. Right.
Please. No.
Right. Right. Very mad. Right. I'll show you the text message that my mum sent me. So she obviously drives. She sees it automatically. Full mom mode rings me and goes, "You need to. We all need to be careful." And I was like, "Well, it's kind of your fault. You brought the first ones. You brought the first ones here. People have been following me on Instagram. Well, look how well they're living.
Yeah.
Hey, look how fat he's got. They're loving it over there.
You should like the advertising board.
So yeah, it did. So it hit all the major spots in Northern Ireland, Belfast, the Moy. You know what I mean?
There's none in Uri.
Yeah.
No people in Uri. They're like, bring them in. Bring them in. I'm gonna make a joke there, but I'm not gonna.
But you're no more Friday nights for you, show. But it is mad though. It's mad, like.
Joe scares me about these things. I always am afraid that I'll get caught up in it. Like any protest, anything, because I'm always walking around Belfast, so I'm afraid that I'll get photographed being around somewhere. Like I just came back from that Chinese. What if I was standing that Chinese and a load of boys walked in throwing chairs and I was just like there? Like that terrifies me. Your career's over. Like
yes.
Like,
and to be fair, you kind of look.
Whoa. Wait.
No, but you don't dress. Sorry, you don't dress like you would be a part of it, so you would get away with it.
Yeah, and especially especially walking home today because I was wearing like a big black backpack and stuff like that, and just had like the black t-shirt on. I was like, and it was a North Face bag, and I was like, there's some brands that just can't recover from these things, like Stone Island. If you're wearing Stone Island, you're throwing chairs at Tucker's Barbers. I'm sorry, that's like.
Think about it is the amount of money you would have spent on that Stone Island. I wouldn't be going near a rat with that. I wouldn't bring it out of the house. Stone Island's so expensive.
Here, also spoiler alert: wasn't a local that made it.
Exactly. I seen somebody sent me a thing earlier on there, and it's the best thing I've ever seen. Somebody had like a placard at the. Did you see it? Somebody had a placard at the Rats today, and this is what it said. You love your kebabs, don't you? Yes,
that's unreal.
I love that. But it is quite heartwarming though to see people actually be like, no, this isn't how everybody feels. So it is quite nice. So it is what
get the support of the local community.
My mom's fully freaking out about it. Like,
is she? Yeah.
She's fully freaking out. I'm like, I no more sound like I'm an illegal immigrant. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's like I remember, like, but people just get so carried away with things from here because they're not used to immigrants. I think. Like, I'm not trying to like make a point here. I'm just generally like, chatting about something that's happened before. I remember, like,
Tommy.
See, Emmons, do you know what the problem is? Let me tell you something. I'm not doing this podcast with you anymore. You.
That's unreal.
No. Right. No, what I meant was people believe anything from here. Like I remember there's a page in Uri called Uri Spud, right? And one of their first posts made them go viral was Jihadi Paddy takes over and holds hostage Barcroft shop in Uri. And people were commenting on and being like, fucking these jihadis can't believe they're in Uri taking over shops. I'm like, jihadi Paddy, how the fuck is you? How do you fall for that, you lunatic?
I know. It's but I just think people like to feel a part of something. It's like,
what, you know, being racist?
But they're like, I'm not educating, or I'm not. I don't want to. I sort of spoke too faster. I don't want to educate myself on the whole situation, so I just join the group that requires the least amount of effort and looks the most amount of crack, which is a young lad going, "I'm going to throw a stone at somebody. This is just class crack."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then you have the ones from the older generation are like, "Nah, fucking out the fuck these people," you know. But did you see the guy getting interviewed by Stephen Nolan?
No, I'm sure he was full of good logic.
Unbelievable. You should watch it. It's class.
How does Stephen Nolan find them? Like, how does he get them?
He was in an area in Belfast where it would be quite easy to
oh, right, okay.
Especially he was outside a specific bar that would
right. Quite,
yes. I'm doing my best not to get us cancelled here, or get put on the bonfire. So yeah,
but so you're saying there. This will probably touch on our global news before we wrap up here. But I'm not harping on with the Olympics, but the big topic was the female athlete that people were calling a man. Like, I am so sorry, but like, everyone just goes, that man shouldn't be fighting that woman. Spoiler alert, wasn't a fucking man ever. Imagine that was you. People are going, what would you do if that was your daughter that got punched in the face by that man? What would you do if that was your daughter? And people are going, that's a man.
It's the kind of thing that people just, somebody said it. They're like, right, obviously this clearly is a man. But I don't even think she looked like a man.
No, she's like, not at all.
It's like, and then it turns out that she is actually a female. She just has, was it a higher level of testosterone or something?
Something like that. I think there's a thing where like chromosomes for women can be like 2 sets instead of 1 set. Yeah. And one of them is more like fucking estrogen producing or something like that. Trust me, I did my research on it because I wasn't going to just come out like a lunatic and go, that man shouldn't be fighting that woman. Like, and in fairness, she's from, is Algeria? I think, or something like that.
Iran, is it? Iran, I think maybe.
Whatever country she's from, if she was trans, I don't think they would have let her compete under the flag. Do you know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. She wouldn't have been even allowed to box.
Yeah, exactly.
At any stage, yeah. So
people are mental. Yeah. People are mental. But that's the good news topics of this week. Jesus Christ. I love how me and you go like, here, we'll keep it fairly tame for the first few episodes. Don't want anything too controversial, and then that's the madness we'll come out with.
I love recording this podcast. I do. It's my favorite thing to
do. I'll be honest. We had a smasher of a night in the comedy club. Had more fun doing this. This has been.
Oh, that's good.
This has been great. Good. This has been great.
Delighted that your night went really well.
It was good. Flat. We had, because people were like, "Oh, the rats might put it off and all." And I'm like, see when people are saying there will be rats, there won't be rats. The rats pop out of the blue. Like out of fucking BBM chats or whatever. I don't know where people organize them these days, but like they don't be happening.
Reddit. That means it's a Reddit thing, isn't it?
It is. But I have nothing else to promote. Anything to promote?
Yes. So Paddy McDonnell is coming to the Crack Theatre in Island on the 6th of September. Paddy is one of the best comedians on the circuit.
He's unreal.
He is fantastic. It would be the theatre has a soft wee spot in my heart, so I'd love to see it sold out for him. It's selling quite well anyway, but if you get down to that, it'd be great. You never know, somebody you know might be doing sport, but that's me. So look, it'll be great to see us all out. So yeah, get on that Crack Theatre.
Oh, just let me. That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me.